In this video we're going to look at addition and subtraction in standard form. Now it's possible to do this in three different ways. So the first way here you can see, in this method here, all they have done is they have written the numbers out the long way, and then they have done the addition, and then they've converted back to standard form. Absolutely fine, that's probably the way I prefer to do it. Another way you can do it as well, and they have made them both the power of the lower thing. So 4.35 times 10 to the power 5, that was a smaller power. So they made the 6.27 to the power 7, changed it into 600, so 629 times 10 to the power 5. And they added those two things, and they got 633.35 times 10 to the power 5, which is then equal to 6.3335 times 10 squared times your 10 to the power 5, which is the same then as 6.3335 5 times 10 to the power of 7. So it's just a slightly different method for doing it. The last method is to give them both the bigger power. So you have your 6.29 times 10 to the power 7. So the other number becomes 0.0435 times 10 to the power 7. And when you add them, you can see you get the answer. It's probably out of the three, this one in this case is the quickest method. Okay, I'm going to have we go at these questions. I'll decide which method I'm going to use. So the first one, I'm just going to use the first method. So it's going to be 5. I'm going to do it out the long way. It's going to be 5350 plus it's going to be 82100. And if we add those both, you're going to get 87450 and then that will become 8.745 times 10 to the power of 4. Next one, I'm going to write them both in terms of the bigger power. So 7.6 times 10 to the power of 6 stays as it is. Then this will now become, so I need, if I'm making this times 10 to the power of 6, I've made this thing 10 times 10 bigger. So this is going to be 10 times 10 smaller, so it's going to be 0.0684. And then we can just subtract these. So we're going to have times 10 to the power of 6. And then we'll just do that subtraction. I'm just doing that on my calculator. And so I'm going to do just 7.16 minus 0.0684. Press equals. And what I get is 7.0916 times 10 to the power 6. Just do your final check and check that everything it's properly in standard form. Well, I've got my number between 1 and 10 and times 10 to the power of a number, whole number, so that is absolutely fine. Okay, part C, I'm going to use a smaller power this time. So I'm going to write it as 4.88 times 10 to the power of minus 5, and then plus. And if I use a smaller power, that's going to be times 10 to the minus 5. So I've made this thing 10 times 10 smaller. So this has to be 10 times 10 bigger. So it's going to be 736 times 10 to the minus 5. And then we can just add those two things. So that's going to be 740.88 times 10 to the minus 5, it should be. Okay, let's just do our final check and see if are we okay. Let's look. We've got 740.88. So it's definitely not right. We have not got this in the form that we need to have it in. So we need to go on and do another wee bit of work. So I'm just going to change that one, and I'm going to say that's going to be make that 7.4088. So I've made that 100 times smaller, or 10 times 10 smaller. So that this next one has to be 10 times 10 bigger. So it's going to go up to 10 to the minus 3, and that is now correct.